there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well today. Blockbuster news. Another world's worst kept secret that is finally out of the bag. And we have the confirmation about this fella right here. Xabi Alonso is leaving Bayer Leverkusen. That has all been confirmed and it's come out of the horse's mouth himself earlier on today. And he's heading over here. Now, we haven't got that confirmation yet, but again, unless you live in a cave, you know that that is his destination. And that, my friends, is none other than the Santiago Bernabéu. Real Madrid, a la Madrid, is where Xabi Alonso is heading. And as some would say, he's heading back home. Well, one of his homes. One of his major homes, where as a player, he thrived, he won silverware, he played fantastic. It was Real Madrid. So Xabi Alonso is leaving Bayer Leverkusen. We're going to go through the motions, and then I'm going to give you my opinions on it all. But let's go through it. Here's how the day started, where the whispers started to pop onto everyone's feeds, telling us that a decision has been made, and he's leaving. He's about to confirm. So here's Florian Plettenberg earlier on today, saying, breaking exclusive, it's now official and decided. Xabi Alonso has informed Bayer Leverkusen that he will leave the club at the end of the season. He is set to join Real Madrid. Alonso may announce it himself at today's press conference, and correctly so. That is exactly what he ended up doing. Fabrizio quoting Xabi Alonso here, saying, breaking, Xabi Alonso confirms he's set to leave Bayer Leverkusen. He quotes, it's time to confirm these will be my final games at Bayer. Xabi Alonso says, Real Madrid new coach soon. Now, Xabi Alonso confirming this in the press conference, and you can go and see the clip for yourself. On the back of that, Bayer Leverkusen have also now made the confirmation themselves. After almost 2.5 years and during the most successful period in the club's history, our head coach, Xabi Alonso, will leave Bayer Leverkusen at the end of the season. Wow. We all expected this. Let's be honest. We all expected it. Like I said, it's the world's worst kept secret. There was a little bit of, I wouldn't say controversy, there was a little bit of question, should we say. Was he going to go to Real Madrid or was he going to go to Man City? That was a question at one point because we didn't quite know what Pep Guardiola was going to do. But Pep did, in fact, end up extending and signing on. Now, whether he's actually going to see till the end of that, whether he's not, whether he's going to sign another 5 or 6 year deal, whether he's not, we genuinely don't know. But now this cat is out of the bag. Pep staying at City makes even more sense because who else is going to really come into Manchester City right now when it was this guy that was touted very highly, but we now know he is heading off to Real Madrid to replace Carlo Ancelotti. Real Madrid operate in a way where it's not like most can. They managed to basically squeeze everything they could have got out of Carlo Ancelotti. That's it. Carlo cannot do any more. It's done, right? So much so now you're seeing the team struggle. We say struggle, but their struggle is coming second in La Liga, making it to a quarterfinal of a Champions League, making it far into the cups, and not winning them. That's a terrible season for Real Madrid. For most, that is a decent season. But for Real Madrid, inexcusable. We can't have that. Carlo Ancelotti, who has won everything in La Liga's, Champions Leagues, time and time again, right? He's one of the most decorated managers in football history. That's it. He's hit the ceiling. He's hit what he can do. It cannot go any better. So Real Madrid, correctly so. I love Carlo, but even I'm here going, it's time. It is time. The transition has to be made. Nothing can last forever. And they've gone for, when you're looking at the new gen of managers, the new breed of managers, right? The one with the highest credibility is Xabi Alonso because of what he was able to accomplish in his time at Bayer Leverkusen, what he was able to do in a short time. 2.5 years he was there. But 2.5 years taking this season into account too. What he did last season was unbelievable. He came into Bayer Leverkusen, little bit of time, started a new season, blitzed everything. And what did he do? Well, let's look at some of the accolades. Xabi Alonso will leave Bayer Leverkusen at the end of the season. 2003-24 Bundesliga, undefeated as champion. 2023-24, the DFB Pokal Cup. 2024, the Super Cup. When he took Leverkusen over, they were 16th. And then he went on to make them German champions. Literally, it basically looked like out of nothing. Out of absolutely nothing. And when you look at his overall record, it's impressive. As coach, he coached 138 games. He won 89 of them, resulting in a 65% win percentage, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there. 31 draws, just 18 losses. Just 18 is phenomenal in 138 games. A legendary 51-game unbeaten streak, an invincible Bundesliga season, 3 titles, and now just 2 more games to go. And thank you to Xabi Alonso from this Bayer Leverkusen page. He has absolutely blitzed it. And you know, on top of that, he also did the honourable thing. What's the honourable thing? He didn't rush. He had the chance to leave at the end of last season after he accomplished all of this. He could have left on a super high. Super high. But he didn't. He didn't. What he ended up doing was they qualify for the Champions League because they win the Bundesliga. And he turns around and says, I'm not going. I want to pursue and take what I've built into the Champions League and see what we can do. Right? And try and defend the Bundesliga. Which, to be fair, he hasn't done a bad job. He hasn't done much of a bad job. I mean, it hasn't ended in the same way that it did last season. He has lost 2 games in the Bundesliga this season, unlike last season where he lost none. But him his team and Bayern Munich have basically gone pretty much all the way. Right? Pretty much all the way. And as it stands, there's a 6-point gap with 2 games to play. But... No, sorry, 8 points, not 6 points. 8-point gap with 2 games to play. It's mathematically impossible now. So they're not going to retain. But he done the honourable thing. He's a very young manager. He doesn't need to rush. You know, Xabi Alonso, who, if I'm looking at his age, is 43. Super young. Is now heading off to Real Madrid. Real Madrid, now looking to these new gen managers, have managed to get themselves probably the most high-rated one. But is he going to be able to deliver at Real Madrid? Now, the one thing that helps his cause here is that he is an ex-player of the club. He knows what it means to win as a player at the club. He knows what standards are required at the club as a player. On top of that, he's already achieved enough credibility as a coach for him to be taken seriously. So now he's got both ends of the spectrum. And this is what you need in order to manage at a top elite club. You can't just have one. When you come in and you've got a CV, you're respected. Cool. And especially if you're an ex-player and you understand what the dressing room is and you understand how it works, then great. If you're an ex-player of that club, but you haven't got the credibility as a manager, there's always a question mark. It means you've got work to do. Can you get that respect? Zidane was someone that was. Zidane stepped in as a legend, having come through the ranks as a coach, but has never really managed at a top-tier club before. But he came in and actually made it work. And the thing is, since then, we've not seen him manage. This is why he still has that question mark. Yes, he won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? But it's a question mark because he's not been able to stay consistent or continue. Like, we don't genuinely know what his true capabilities as a manager is, right? But at Real Madrid, him coming from Bayer Leverkusen now, Xabi Alonso, and having done what he's done, knowing that he's done it in a top league for a decent club, taken the reins at a club like Bayer Leverkusen and achieved what he achieved. On top of that, having played for Real Madrid, he's got the respect, he's got the fan base. He's already got one hell of a foundation that he can use to now not only propel Real Madrid to the next new gen era, but to propel himself as an established world-class coach. Can he do it? I'd like to think he can. I'd like to think he can. I don't see why not. At Bayer Leverkusen, I think he done a stellar job, considering the resources that he had available to him as well. At Real Madrid, it's going to be a different ball game. Standards are higher. Requirements are higher. He has to win. There is no if, buts, or maybes. If not, it will be deemed a failure, especially if Barcelona on the other end are going to be winning. But on top of that, he's going to have resources available that he's never had to deal with before. And sometimes that can make or break a manager. Sometimes when a manager, there's some managers that are able to deal with limited resources. If you give them unlimited resources, they're like, I don't know what to do. And then they fail. There's some that can't handle it. Most people have the perception that a manager would come in, yeah, give him the blank checkbook. Oh, mate, he'll be able to kill it. No, for some managers, it's the other way around. Some managers just cannot function that way. Can he? He done good business at Leverkusen. It was kind of limited, but he made it work. We live in an era now where financial fair play strains clubs. This is where someone like him might actually be quite handy. But Real Madrid will need to spend. Can he dictate and know what needs to be done in terms of spending, selling, keeping players, buying players? Making those decisions, that's going to separate the good from the great. That's where we're going to be able to know whether Xabi Alonso is just good or is he great. I wish him the best of luck. And if you're asking me my opinion, my gut feeling, I actually think he's going to do really well there. I think he's got all the attributes. There's one added factor that we have to take into consideration here, which is a cherry on the cake. Xabi Alonso has played under all the best managers you could possibly ask for. I think, you know, he played under Rafa Benitez. He played under Jose Mourinho. He played under Carlo Ancelotti. Has he played under Pep? I don't think he has. Don't think he has. Oh, no, he did. He did. He did. You know, he did. He did. He did. He's done it all. He's done it all. Sorry. Yeah, he has. He has. For Bayern Munich. When Guardiola was there. So, he's done it all. Really. He's done it all. That is going to help. When you've got that much knowledge from those names, you've played under each and every one of them, you would have learned so much from every single one. That, as an added bonus of what he's been able to prove thus far, is only going to help him propel even more. So I think this one's going to work out really well. I think Xabi Alonso will do very well at Real Madrid. And I think this could be one where Real Madrid don't really have to make a change for quite some time. This is going to be their investment into the future. Let's see if he can maintain. Because at Real Madrid, you have to. If you don't maintain, you get sacked. End of story. Good luck to him. And good luck to Real Madrid. We'll see how it's going to pan out. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you think it's going to go? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think he'll succeed or fail? And why? Let me know down in the comment section below. Much appreciated. And I'll catch all of you later for the second video of the day, where there will be some Chelsea news. There will be some others, if I'm not mistaken. I'll see what else is popping, but it will be Chelsea stuff. So make sure you guys are here for that. Thank you all so much. And then I'll catch all of you there. Have a good one, people. Subscribe, notification bell on. See you later. Take care and peace.